What's up, guys?
He did the hang loose thing.
Hey,
He's so Hawaiian already over here. Hey, mahalo, bro.
what up, ice hash? Right, this is ice hash. And I have a little puck of some concentrate, all mixed with. What did I mix it with? What did I mix it with? OG Kush. It's nice and sweet. Nice and sweet.
Yeah, this is a little
What you got
platinum
over there, buddy?
cherry. A
Platinum
little
cherry.
platinum
Oh
lemon
my
cherry.
god, that platinum lemon cherry. Holy fucking shit. I love that during the day. It's so stinky. I was riding my bike around today. This e-bike, it goes fast. And I was smoking a joint on it, naturally. Yeah, it was just funny. I went past a college student, me in my 40s, little huge wad of smoke in his face as I passed by. Fuck you. It was funny as shit. It was like around Oakland. Oh, man.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I can smoke joints pretty quickly, being that I've had to in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out of here, dog. Look, I have this black dog. He comes out of nowhere. All right, can you please go? Come on. I don't need this. Come on. All right, you're gonna go outside then. All right, I'm gonna kick these assholes out of here.
I got you.
Sorry about that. That dog had to take a crap. You know, it's always important not to bitch at your dog and all that when they're like, trying to tell you something and try to understand what they're trying to tell you. So, yeah, he definitely had to go take a crap, use the bathroom, something. Yeah, when he was walking, he just the way he walked around me, I was like, yeah, he's definitely got to take a crap. So, oh yeah, give him a couple minutes, dog will pop out. And Primo, he's probably gonna lay down his first life of the night. Hey, bitches, this beat really sucks. This isn't even a hip hop beat. How are you even supposed to like vibe to that? All right, let's do another one. Purse snatcher, ass grabber, motherfucker sitting there in his underwear. Who's not a kid is dead. Anyways, all right. Let me find that dough.
Hold on.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Hot. Hey. All right.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, long day today.
Yeah, tell me about your day. What made it such a long day? 'Cause, every day is
Just,
the same thing.
oh, yeah, I can't really get into specifics about, but the type of sin. Just,
Yeah. Sales was tough.
having to have different customers and how can I put it? Uh, being able to basically, figuratively speaking, tap dance on the head of a dime when when you're in the middle of a sale, in the middle of talking to somebody, and they're throwing out objections and this and that. If you're in a sale and somebody gives you an objection, it's one of those. Is it a real objection, or are they just trying to, get you off the phone type of shit? And then,
Yeah.
and this is the type of thing, it's like you're doing these thoughts in your head simultaneously while you're talking to somebody and processing what they're saying. Okay, how do I, because if somebody in the middle of a sale, they give you an objection, you have two things that you can do, really. You can either address it head on and then move on, or you can completely just, ignore it. Ignoring it that can go either way. But if you address the objection and then go from the, hey, really want to get started on this thing, but well, let me think about it, and well, what's holding you up? Is it, we figured everything out, we got all this stuff down. What, I'm just curious, what's, and then you put them on. Now you got the customer on. Now you put them like, oh, well, I want to switch you, buddy. My wife's my partner, and I can't do anything without. Okay, so it's the wife is the issue. Why don't we get her on the call, man? This and that. Or in the flip side, now here's another one. Flip the script. It's whatever business. It's a husband and wife, and the husband's the main guy. He's the guy that gets out and does the thing. He's the plumber or the electrician or whatever the hell. And the wife is the one that's in the office, taking care of the whole thing. She does everything else for the business. She answers the phone. She does the books. She takes care of all the stuff. You're talking to her.
Yeah.
You're talking to her, and you got an even better. If you're good, if you're a good salesman, that's the best thing. Oh, well, I just need to discuss it with my. Come on, you need to discuss it with your husband. Come on, and I know if you wanted to pull the trigger on it right now, there ain't nothing he's going to be able to say to you about it. God, let's get it done. We already got everything in place. Come on.
If you wanted a pair of shoes, nothing would stop you. And then you pause.
It's one of those where, again, in a sale, you just have to, you have to be able to adapt. I'd say that's probably the number one biggest trait that any salesperson should have, is the ability to adapt themselves in the middle of the sale.
Yeah, you just got to come up with shit up out of your ass sometimes, but you got to be good with it.
I mean, I can tell you a story about years ago. It was right when I started working with my dad, and we had the jewelry business at that time. It was all costume jewelry, meaning not real gold or silver. It was mainly for ladies, jewelry for them to wear with their outfits, shit like that. Well, at the time, the big item was these, different designer earrings. And we had all different brands and everything. I had this one customer, and it was in the middle of summer, slow ass day. Not much going on. Here comes this guy. He was from Korea. He needed to take gifts back for all the women back home. He ends up grabbing almost $800 worth of earrings. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's all fine and good. And I'm literally in the middle of wrapping everything up, ringing up the sale. And he looks at the earrings and he looks on the back of the display card that they were on.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no, we have a big problem. I'm like, oh, fuck, what? What? No, what's the issue, sir? Oh, I need these gifts to take back home. This says made in Korea. I can't take this back home. I said, no, sir. Only the display card is made in Korea. They have to label it so that we can import them correctly. But the earrings themselves are made here in the States. Oh, are you
fantastic.
sure? Oh, I'm positive. Tell you what, I can even box them up in a brand new, nice box, and they won't say anything made in Korea. Oh, that's perfect. Those earrings were most definitely, they're probably made by his fucking cousin.
You think so?
You never know. But
made by his cousin, this guy.
He bought that line and all the earrings. And then my dad came in that night, to do the, end of the night register, tally everything up. And I hadn't said anything to him. I could have totally called him after the sale. I'm like, Baba, I just made a big sale. I'd say shit. He comes in. He's like, so how is it going tonight? I'm like, slow. He's like, yeah, it's that time of year. He goes to take the X rating from the register. And he's doing one of those like double takes looking at it. And he looks over at me, doesn't say anything, goes back over to the register, counts the money, sees that everything is accurate. And he just was like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, I forgot to tell you about that big sale I had. And he was like, I can't believe it. He was like, I barely expected, $400 total today. He's like, you did over $1,000. And this was like me, like I said, I was just getting started with my dad. I was still a teenager. And that kind of just set the standard for many more sales to follow after that.
I don't know why my dog's so attached right now. He's just hanging out. So I'm not gonna push him away. I'm gonna hang out with him.
So I'm just curious, when is the last time that you actually bought and used regular, like, a quarter size papers?
It's been a while. I would like to. Well, I don't know if I'd like to go back to it. I prefer the king size. It gives me enough room. If I want to roll a small or a thin one, I can at least do that. If I go smaller than a king size, like your regular size, I would only do it with a pre-roll cone because I don't like to roll things that small. I would just rather put it in a cone because it's going to be over fairly quickly. I'm one of the few people that can smoke a joint fairly quickly. You've seen how quick it would go from one joint to another. I could smoke a regular size joint, in a 5-minute period, because that's, sticking on the side of my mouth. Just something like this. I could just be smoking. And I just keep going and going. Because it just tastes that great. Now you just hang out here and burn one, Love it.
I'm so sorry. Holy shit.
I'll blow it a little bit too, yeah. Well, I mean, the weather changes in our particular region, What was it, like 80 degrees today or whatever the fucking hell?
That's fucking ridiculous is what it is.
Well, Yeah, it keeps going hot, cold, hot, cold. And, you know, that's pretty much spring for you in the Northeast. So yeah, we're at like 64 degrees, down to about 58 at night, and then tomorrow by 3 p.m. you're hitting 82. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean that's quite a temperature variance. You know, you're going from oh it's cold to oh my god it's really warm. You know. Anyways. Oh, and also at my old age, sometimes I'll go to the masseuse. I found this one spot where they're pretty good, and they're not like some of the other spots where they don't know what they're doing, and then they offer hand jobs, and that's all it's about, hand jobs. But you know, at my older age, at 40s going into my 50s, you know, my hips get a little stiff, my shoulders definitely get a little stiff, and they friggin' hurt. And it's like a very weird thing to say because in my 20s and 30s, I was like hammering weights down. You know, and that was never an issue. What, my shoulders hurt? Yeah, it's because I did too many reps of this fucking thing. Now they hurt because I'm getting older. I slept on it fucking funny. So anyway, so I go to the masseuse, and I remember, you know, they're like, "Oh, is it really hot in here?" I'm like, "No, why?" I'm like, "Where the fuck do you ask me if it's too hot in here?" And this other masseuse, you know, sticks her head into that. Oh, is it kind of hot in here? And she asked her, and she's like, "No, I asked him too. He didn't say it was." And she's like, "Well, he's Indian." I'm like, That's right. That's right. I am Indian. Well, genetically wise, I didn't. You know, I was born or raised in India.
See, that's like that. That's when I would have just
and show them that video, the chai tea.
That's when I would have just like taken the opportunity to do, like, because I love to fuck with people, and I wouldn't have been able to help myself there. Like, oh. So you think the whole of India is hot? I happen to be from the Himalaya region. We like it cold. And then just see their faces for like that split second, like, oh my God. I'm so like, no, I'm just fucking with you. I got you. Got you. How you say, I got your goat. But no, I'm vegetarian. Yeah. We don't do it. I don't eat. That's not entirely true. I definitely would eat goat. It's not one of my favorites. I have eaten it. I much prefer lamb over goat.
Yeah. Lamb over goat. I like lamb, yeah.
It's just so much tastier, more tender meat.
I mean, there's less meat on goat, you know. Big issue with there being more, you know, bone than meat. On your goat you're trying to eat. There was one spot in Buffalo, New York that had this buffet that you could go to that they would leave out that you could, you know, sit there or you could like get takeout, and they always had a really good goat curry, and they would have like, you know, those pieces of goat were fairly large. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I've definitely had good goat curry before, but I'd much rather have a good lamb curry.
Yeah. Lamb curry, huh? Yeah, I like the lamb curry, the goat curry. You know, it's good stuff. Isn't what Great Britain's national dish? What kind of curry is it? Or is it chicken tikka masala, isn't it? Chicken tikka masala, mate. Yeah.
It's like all these years later, they still can't even eat without us.
No, they love you. They love India because India welcomed them.
I don't know if that's the exact terminology I'd use.
Well, for the most part.
It wasn't like we welcomed them. They showed up. And then they
we said, oh, well, if we don't welcome you, then we're fucked. So we're just going to welcome you.
It was like if you ever watched any of Eddie Izzard's stand-up.
Yeah.
He has a whole skit about it, and he's like, it was basically like, oh, well, do you have a flag? Well, you don't. Well, you can't have one, and we do. So now this is ours. Okay. Like, oh, shit. What happened? Arey, who let all these goras in here? Then the guy's assistant, Sahab, you did. I did? Ah, you made the deal with them for all the gold and the whiskey. Hmm. You told them they can stay. They are your number one mehman. They are your lovely guest. Oh, shit. Fuck. Call that skinny Guju guy up. Tell him to go on hunger strike and get them out of here. And again, to anybody, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but just think about this for 1 second.
Yeah.
You have the British Empire, the height of their power.
Yeah.
India is their crown jewel. They are one of the, at the time in the world, superpowers. After all, what was their phrase? The sun never sets in the British Empire. And you mean to tell me that you really believe because some 5'7" skinny ass Gujarati guy basically said, I don't like what you're doing and I'm not going to eat because of it. That's why they left.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally believable. Now we're the biggest world power, but my God, this Gujarati chap is going to starve himself. Bloody hell, we better go. Wrap it up, gents, wrap it up. Time to go. Cheerio. Really?
Yeah. Of course.
Said like a true Hindustani. Ah.
Of course. The
हमारा
handshake.
देश
Yeah.
का हमारा देश का दादा
Oh.
है. He is the grandfather of our nation.
You don't know a thing about the grandfather of the nation. Eh?
He's the hardaway का दादा है. Shit, fucking grandfather of pimps. He ain't shit. But anyhow,
Yes.
what else you been thinking about? What's been on your mind?
Me, well, I was thinking about looking up. Where is this? You are laughing, but you are crying at the same time, eh? No. All right, let me look it up here. Saved. We got
That's
some
what they
things
always.
here.
That's what the Punjabis say. You know, when like the you got two buddies, and one of them gets married,
Yeah.
and then you see, you know, on the wedding day that the guy is smiling. And in the Indian weddings, you always see the girl's crying. She's leaving her family. And you know what the real deal is? Why the
Huh.
guy's smiling and why the girl's crying?
Bye.
For the girl, this is her last day of sadness.
Chi.
She's now married, and now she has a brand new set of
Chi.
immaculate virgin balls that have never been busted, the likes of which they're going to be busted during the marriage.
Chi.
So that's her last day of sadness. And for the groom, his virgin balls are about to get busted like they've never got busted before. And that's his last day of happiness. And that's why they say happily married. She's happy and he's married. It's a joke and it obviously loses in the translation, but
Yeah. I am pretty excited about what you have just said. So, what will you do about this in the future? Eh? Hello?
what am I going to do about it?
You are really crazy these days, eh, Pancho?
हमेशा बैंचो बोलते हैं कोई दूसरे आदमी का बैंड कभी चोट करती है क्या?
What? When does this happen? Last week or today? I don't understand. You are
You
speaking about
understand
this.
what I asked you?
No, what have you asked me? I'm speaking
I
from the
said
heart.
I said you keep saying banjo. I said, when's the last time you fucked some guy's stern?
Oh God. Well, the last time I think I did that was what? You don't have a sister.
Joke backfire हो गया सही. Bang bang.
Unless it was you in a wig, but I don't think that's possible.
नहीं,
Maybe you're a
मैं
distant relative.
प्रेम सिंह है. प्रेम सिंह
I
एडी
was
वो तो चीज नहीं करता मैंने.
right. So, what will
जनरेशन
you do?
नहीं है मैंने. ट्रांस वैंस नहीं है. हाँ, एकदम मर्द है. लंड है गया बहन चोद. So that's what I love about our language.
What's good?
Every other language, you have slang words for dick.
Okay.
But Punjabi, there are two. So it's what kind of a dick? You have luli, and then you have lund.
Okay.
Luli is a millimeter pita. Oh, so small. Lund is gate ki tarah se, like a fucking donkey. Donkey!
A donkey.
So, when's your watch gonna get here?
Me? Let me look it up right now. This watch is coming in from Vukum. It's a Vukum.
Bukam, bukam, buka, 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 uka, uka. Buka, buka? Is that place still around?
I think something may have happened to that owner or something. Do you remember his name?
Nah. And I met
His
him
mother
like
opened a restaurant for him because he was like something happened outside his spot, or I don't know, something like that.
damn.
Oh man.
Oh, that's South Side. I mean that's a very I don't want to say problematic area, but it ain't what it used to be. Put it that way. And yeah, I mean, you always hear every weekend about some fight, something happening in the South Side.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, I used to live there, but it's a shame what's happened with that neighborhood. It really is. Because it went from the 90s having a real cool, almost Soho, Greenwich Village vibe to it.
Yeah.
To it turned into some fucked up East Coast version of Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And like there used to be a coffee shop down there that was called the Beehive.
Okay.
And let me tell you that place, I mean, they used to have a back courtyard area where people could go to smoke and cigarettes, but they'd always smoke something else back there too. I mean, there was always somebody smoking back there. and
Yeah.
it was the closest that I could get to that Amsterdam coffee shop experience. Like,
Okay.
if they had a fucking, showcase full of bud, it would have been an Amsterdam coffee shop. It had that same
Yeah.
vibe. Like, and I loved going in there. And at one point, not too far long ago, I mean, shit, I was going in there with my ex-wife. So 2010, 2011,
Yeah.
they still had a smoking area inside in a establishment indoors. You were allowed to get your coffee and go to a table and sit down and have a cigarette. And I'm sure you can imagine, know me, how much time I spent there.
Right.
I mean, that was kind of, that was my hangout. I was never one to, you never find me hanging out in a bar. That's not even remotely my style, you know? But coffee shop with a fucking French press, full in front of me and, fucking ashtray. Hell, man, I'm posted up. I'm chilling. I'm reading a book or whatever, on my computer, whatever the fuck.
Right.
So.
Oh God. Damn.
Oh,
Hey, goddamn motherfucker.
I did my injection the other night. It's whew,
Oh yeah. It is strong.
definitely doing a number on my gut. You'll have that time to time. So what else is on your mind?
Um, except this bud. Holy shit! It is kicking my ass.
What, that OG?
Yeah. It makes me want to go to bed, relax,
Really?
and zone out, and be quiet. And it clams me up. That's the problem. So that's how I feel about that. Damn. Talking about.
That is very interesting. Because for me, that OG, like, it was definitely a hitter, but it didn't give me that same type of nighttime vibes.
Yeah.
Now, you already know, like, how I felt about, our buddy Cashburger. That that I won't even fucking think about smoking that if there's daylight outside. Like, that just, like, I know what'll happen to me. You know,
Yeah.
I want to go to sleep in an hour, and that's what, like, I at platinum lemon cherry gelato ain't too far behind it. This particular iteration of it,
Yeah.
it was very, very indica leaning. Like, holy shit. Like, that's one of those where I gotta make sure I don't leave that on my tray overnight if it's
Yeah.
like if it's a work night. Weekend, I can, whatever, I can, oh shit, I'll just go back and take a nap. Okay, but during the work, I fuck up and take a hit of that one morning. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, I don't even want to think about that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'll have to pull one of the fucking, get the Cafe Bustelo fucking Keurig pot I get and use four of them and do like the small coffee setting, but like do 4 of those and have like one big mug of like super strong coffee in order to wake up from that shit. Which you saw the other day. Apparently, you and I have a very different taste in how we make our coffee personally.
Yeah, that's true. You really like a thicker consistency here at night.
In general, well, I mean, it don't matter the time of day. I just like that very strong flavor.
I prefer it between strong and that really light flavor because that was fairly light, but like it's fairly light because I don't want to drink a lot of caffeine at night.
That's fair.
You understand, cocksucker?
You's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So, anything new, pot news wise? I mean, everybody seems to be talking about this rescheduling of everything.
No, rescheduling basically meant that tax breaks for rich business owners, people that were adversely affected by all of this. Well, guess what? You're still adversely affected by all of this. If you hope to go between state to state, you still cannot do this, and it is still deemed illegal. It just means that it is just reclassified for the purpose of taxes. Wait. I mean, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you gotta be fucking retarded to, like, fucking. Like, or am I just. I gotta be the retarded one, right? Yeah, see, that's why we're hanging out here, just hanging out here doing jack shit. But, someone's in Washington, fucking suit and tie, and this is what they came up with. Cock, sucking, fuck. Shit. That's what I think about that. Those 3 words: cock sucking, fuck, and then shit. Fuck. Oh man. Right? I mean, what the hell? This is the best they came up with.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the
I mean, you keep trying to change the fucking channel. We're like, okay, look, we don't like what we're fucking watching here. Let's change the channel. That doesn't even work. These cocksuckers are on all the fucking networks. Now they got people knocking at your door. Holy shit. It's stressful. It's not fair. And I don't agree with it. Nobody does. Who wants this friggin' funded harassment? There you go. Let me fund my own freaking goddamn stress. Fucking hell.
Well,
I mean, if you want to spit right now because you're so disgusted, I get it. You go fucking hack a big one in the bathroom. I get it. I understand. I think everybody understands. I'm pretty disgusted myself. I believe I allowed this to persist this far.
Part of it is, I mean, like you see so much of this shit, and after a while, I hate to say it, but you get fucking jaded. You're just like, oh, here it is again. Okay.
Is it jaded, or like you go into survival mode? You're like, you know what? If I ever get to escape on that fucking spaceship out this motherfucker, and the keys are just sitting in it, I think it just might. I come grab you first, though. Be like, hey, Primo, let's go. Like, All right, let's go. There we go. So, then the show will take place, on a spaceship. And
You
then we
know,
would broadcast us to everyone. Like, all right, cocksuckers, we're going somewhere. Who are these guys in the Tachini velour suits?
I mean, I feel like you're always in, like, I mean, for me at least, I'm
Yeah.
always in survival mode. That's part of life. But like you and me, our idea of survival mode is way different than a lot of other people's.
Okay.
You know, the general way we are, like the other night in the parking lot with that guy. You know,
You keep going back to the parking lot. The parking lot. Has this been going through your head a lot lately?
It was just the most recent incident, but
okay.
we were both alert to that guy at the same time. Most people don't have that, and again, like I said, that guy didn't. I hate to sound so stereotypical, but he did not look like he belonged there. That's kind of where I was hitting it, because that establishment, it's so weird with the way the parking is set up.
Yeah.
The majority of
what do you think the purpose would have been? You think he's trying to break and enter vehicles?
Some kind of scam.
Scam? Well, what kind of scam? I don't understand what kind of scam.
Who knows, bro? He could have been trying to, it might have been a kind of stick up type robbery.
No, he guessed.
Don't say no. Don't say no when, like, 5 years ago they did that to a group of Indians that set up for a weekend 1-day jewelry show and went to that same Indian restaurant and got fucking robbed in the parking lot of that restaurant.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, like I don't say things.
Well, I'm really happy that I did have all my faculties about me, because the body language, as soon as the person crossed over, I was trying to assess what was going on, but
because you got to remember,
every time I had access to my firearm, and I could have had a draw speed of under a minute and a half, or a minute and a half, a second and a half. So I was on my shit the whole time, even behind the car, and just kind of like trying to watch everything. I was trying to figure out if that person was associated with the other person in that vehicle next to us, the female in the vehicle. That's what I was trying to assess, which I wasn't. It looked like that person was on the phone or something.
That's what I mean.
Going on there?
Yeah, you don't. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
You got to remember.
It just seemed like someone who just didn't have any sort of like faculty about like time or fucking space.
That's how it may have appeared. That's but it might have.
It's like, what are you doing about?
You got to remember that restaurant.
Fucking dirty out here in a second, motherfucker.
That restaurant is right near the temple. Yeah. People constantly go there right after the temple. You and I both know that, especially the South Indians, when they go to the temple, they will tend to dress up. What do most Indian women have as jewelry when they dress up? 22 karat gold. So people have gotten wise to that shit. And I mean, when you think about,
maybe you should just kind of bring it up in conversation to the owner and be like, hey, did you have anything kind of weird happen last night? And just, I mean, maybe one of the times just to kind of understand what's going on in that area.
If anything would have happened, it would have made the news. But again, I'm not saying it happens there every fucking week, but that could have been an incident.
Do you remember that? Like, okay, so as I age, I realize I'm not physically intimidating. I'm just not. And that's fine because I have the tools to do that. I kind of feel like see, Primo's about to laugh that smoke out. Remember that fucking thing I got from Brazil?
The hand hatchet.
No, the handheld. I call it a handheld.
The hand
It's a
hatchet.
handheld. Yeah. What you do is you put it, you bring it up all the way here. It's like a 5-pound freaking. Anyways, we're not going to describe this thing, but it is the most
It's
menacing looking pair of knuckles. Anyways, enough said. But it's menacing. Oh man, if I saw someone pull that out, I would fucking run. So yeah, I guarantee anyone would fucking run. Because honestly, it's like sometimes you need that, and you don't want to be the person that pulls out, anything more than that because the consequences are fucking dire. But the other thing will at least get the message to go through, a little bit safer than the other method. So had you pulled one of those things out, the person in the parking lot, he probably would have gone to the other side of the parking lot, and then you would have, gotten to put your food in the trunk, unharassed, get into the vehicle unharassed, and then pursue your happiness for the evening.
I mean, it was one of those where somehow I think just the way you and I generally carry ourselves, that also, it's one of those where you might see us walking from a distance and feel like you have a shot. You get close to us and you hear the way we're talking, and then you get a closer look at it, both of us.
Did he just call the little one a cocksucker? Did the little one say he was gonna jam something in the other guy's ass?
No, neck. Remember?
Oh, oh yeah, go for the neck, the jugular. Yeah,
Didn't you see no?
casino. What do you mean? I'm fucking living it with you.
Well, I ain't stabbed nobody in the neck yet. I mean,
well, there's this. I was looking at this stuff on social media. It was really funny. And there are these social media influencers that just, like, the toughest guy in Britain is this dude that's, built. Like, what is he? He's built like 250, 260, 6'5". Then he bumps into this Nigerian guy, and Nigerian goes like, "Oh, I'm 6'9". And I posted on there. I was like, I tagged Joe Pesci. Said they haven't met you. I mean, what the fuck? These fucking guys, meathead assholes. And it's mostly about cruelty with things like that. If you're good at violence, you're good at being cruel. That's like another level than someone who goes to the gym that's pumped up. Those are two different things. The guy who's at the gym that's pumped up can pick you up, throw you, maybe throw a few good shots. But if you're, a cruel and methodical person, it's methodical. So it starts from point 1, 2, and 3, and by the point 4, you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" And you've lost the fight already. So,
well,
just saying.
Yeah, there is something to be said.
There's a lot more to it than just brawn.
I figured that out from a young age for one simple fact:
What?
genetics. I knew I wasn't going to be no fucking 6 foot something. I knew I wasn't going to be no huge dude. Okay, I got to work with what I got. All right. And this thing, the other, whatever happened, and hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, so by the way, we left off on the part about the Vucom watch and everything.
Yeah.
It says it was shipped to Authenticator, because that's their whole process here. They ship the watch to an authenticator. This authenticator is going to authenticate this watch. And it says last location, Vandalia, Ohio. And yeah, it's, whatever it is, it's going through there. You know, hasn't been authenticated yet. So we'll find out when.
Do they give you an estimate as to when you should have it by?
You're gonna have it when you're gonna have it. Hang on. I figure by the 6th of May or by then. By the 6th of May. What are we at? April 23rd. We got another 7 days. It's another week. Thursday. And maybe about another week to 2 weeks. Oh, they got to authenticate. Do you understand? Good.
Oh, very, very anxious to see that.
Yeah. Me too. I can't wait to show the people the watch that I got a killer fucking deal off of. Guys, if you're not checking out hookah on eBay, you really can get some pretty good deals I've seen. And some that are, I don't know. I would say I probably wouldn't jump on them, but if others did, for whatever reason they did it.
I mean,
But I jumped on this one for whatever reason because this watch, I'll give you a clue. It's a watch from the 80s. So it's not even a watch from the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. So it's what is it? Would you say it's a vintage piece by now?
Oh, yeah.
What makes a piece a vintage piece? What, 25 years or what?
It's about 25 years.
Okay. Makes sense.
20, but definitely 25 years or more. That's definitely vintage.
So we're both vintage, pretty much.
Oh, we are
Nice.
we are very vintage.
Nice. We are vintage. So you heard it from us. Yes.
Technically, the one piece that I have, I guess, yeah, that basically would be considered a vintage piece at this point. The one Tissot Sea Star that I have.
Yeah.
It's from 2003 and has a ETA 2824.
Yeah.
It does need servicing because it runs. It still runs perfect, but it can stick every now and then. Like, I haven't been wearing it, so I might have to literally hit it off my hand a couple times to get everything moving. And that's how I know it needs a servicing. So I really don't want to wear it right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's true. I guess you don't want to really do that. It costs money to do these things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm really thinking. I think the next one's going to be the Black Bay Tudor GMT.
Oh man, those Tudors are so fucking popular, huh? I like the Seamasters a lot. They just, and I joined a couple of these fake watch groups because I'm interested to just get a look at this. And for as much as I've looked at watches with you between these sites, the visual on an Omega Seamaster, even if it's a super clone, it's just not the fucking same. Do you agree?
You mean like the super clones are getting close, but they just still don't have it?
I mean, they're close, but they don't have it. I mean, for example, the bezel quality, or just certain little things. You're like, yeah, that's not it. It's not real.
It's one of those things where at the end of the day, no matter how good they get, it is still a fake watch with no resale value, and basically is
La basura.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, it's trash. Yeah.
Fucking garbage. Yes, that's what it looks like to my eyes now, because my eyes have adjusted, sort of like your noggin has adjusted to like can of tasting and everything. Um, my eyes have adjusted to what looks good and legit to me. So when I look at my, well, the knockoffs that you had, those old ones that you were like, hey, check these out. Um, they look really nice. They really, really, really do. But I've never
Those
seen those real, in person. I haven't. But to me, they look real. But I haven't been around the real one
the
enough.
ones that I got are they're good. They're what is known as quad A's,
Okay.
which to a great degree I actually like more than the clones because the quad A's are only focusing on this, how it looks on the outside. They're not worried about every little engraving on the inside but out here on your wrist, it's going to look fucking banging. It's going to look 100%. But if you take it off and somebody who knows watches like we do starts to scrutinize it, yeah, you're going to know in a fucking heartbeat that it's a replica. And yeah, for a long time I was very much into those, and
Yeah.
everybody's taste changed. I just at this point, to me, I'm not going to get that same enjoyment out of even like a super clone
No, not at all.
of what I get, like and there is truly a difference in the way it feels, the way it wears when you have if
Go into
you know
detail.
what do you mean?
Go into detail with the way that
Like
it feels, the way that it wears. Like, what are
the
certain
whole
things you look for in the feel of a watch, or the weight of a watch, or
it should, if you are spending good money on a watch, when it's in your hand you should feel like you have a piece of quality engineering in your hand. You should really feel like you're holding something that is 1,000, 2,000, 5, 10, 15, whatever range you're in.
I
you
just
know
don't feel like that with that red Submariner knockoff I have at all.
no,
It
I mean
looks like
it
it,
looks great, looks
but then
great.
when you touch it, you're like, huh, it's very light and all that other shit. It's just,
Whereas, like, I mean, I don't know if you
yeah.
can hear this. That snap just in releasing this.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's sounds that it makes.
Yeah, the way that sounded, yeah. Very nice. Here, let me see if I got a knockoff sitting around here. Oh, yeah, here we go. There we go. He's that knockoff. There it is.
I mean, there's
Let me
definitely
click this thing here. And did you hear that?
kind of tinny, but
It's this one over here. Is that that one? And then you get this.
oh, that's
Yeah, you know where I get that one from. Kind of tinny, right? Yeah. If it were the real watch, I mean,
the real one is not going to make that sound.
no.
But yeah, like even this one,
Yeah.
the way the band sounds when I'm like shaking it around, like you can hear it's more solid.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, this is a pretty nice little knockoff, though. It's got like you see through the back and everything, and it's all for looks.
I don't know
It's
if I ever
all
told you
about
that
looks.
the
Yes.
movement that's in that watch, that's a
Yes.
Miyota 9015.
Oh, good. That's a pretty good blue, but nice.
Yeah. So I mean, even being that it's a Japanese, the knockoff, it still has a good Japanese movement in it. You
Yeah,
know,
that is true.
but I mean, they're again, once you get into the nice Swiss watches, it's you're just better off. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love watches, and I would love to be in a position where I'm getting a new watch every month.
Oh
I'm not
God,
in
can we
that
do that?
position. No, I mean the Invicta. That's called being an Invicta guy. You know, every week they every month they release something new on one of their shopping network channels, and inevitably, everybody eats it up. And again, if you like them, nothing wrong with that. Get what you like, but I don't know about anybody else, but I know I was pissed as hell after all the
Yeah,
money I spent on the Invictas, and then what I ended up, being able to sell them for.
yeah,
Because, yeah, I'm sorry, you can only wear a goddamn dinner plate sized watch for so long, and then you're like, oh, wait,
yeah.
I actually want to be able to use my wrist the rest of my life.
It's true.
I mean, like at this point, I really don't know how I used to wear those Invictas, because for me, I'm used to this. My lawn jeans every day, it's a 43 millimeter. When I wear my Tissot occasionally, that's a 46. That thing
Yeah,
feels so fucking huge. Oh my God, bro.
yeah.
It's like so massive and clunky, and yeah, it's just one of those where I'm like, like that's the maximum I could go at this point would be 46. I could never do anything like 50, 52. Like, oh hell no. Good
Yeah,
God.
once you get a 52 watch or
They
60,
actually, I
60.
forget, they
God
have
damn.
Invicta has one, and I had sized that up for a guy
Yeah.
back in the day. And I will say this, he was a very large gentleman. He was a big dude. He was like 6, almost 7 foot. And like, why? Like, I mean, he was a big dude. That was about the only guy that I've ever seen in Invicta somehow look proportionately not that bad.
Yeah.
But it took a guy that was almost 7 foot and almost like 400, like a huge, as the Brits say, oh, he was a unit of a guy, wasn't he? There, yeah, right, yeah. He was a unit. He was.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be funny. You like looking at me like I just told you.
What do you think of this watch here? I'm sorry, I'm doing a couple things. So I like to multitask. And I wanted
Does
to
it tell
know
the
what
time?
you. It does? You do shut up. No, I'm just kidding. This one here.
The Oris
Look at my.
Diver 65.
Yeah, look at this.
Not
12,
bad.
15. Open box.
That's
12,
not
15.
bad at all.
It's killer. And I'm comparing it to this. That or this.
I mean, you know me, I always prefer the bracelets, but
But I
that
can
is a
always change this strap out to anything I want, and that's a pretty nice piece.
I mean, that the same way. I mean, yeah, I guess it comes
Which
down
one
to
would you go with, you think? You would probably go with the steel bracelet, wouldn't you?
how much is the bracelet one?
12, 15, 14.95.
I'd actually go with the leather strap in that one. That's
Not a bad band.
it's not a bad band, but I mean, fucking 300 extra just because it's a steel band.
Yeah, and you can do what? You can always get steel bands from anywhere, couldn't you?
You could get steel bands from anywhere down the line. If you absolutely wanted it, you could probably still get that steel band from Oris. It'd probably be around the same price,
Yeah,
because the OEM straps for
yeah,
certain watches. I mean, I don't know why these companies charge the exorbitant amounts that they do, but like for instance, um, I think a replacement
yeah,
stainless steel band for a Rolex Submariner
yeah.
is like almost 2 G's, and it's stainless steel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
My lawn jeans, if I wanted to get the one rubber strap was 200 and the other one was 300
Okay.
if I get it from lawn jeans.
Yeah.
But ironically, I found a knockoff on Etsy for like $40.
Hmm.
And I didn't pull the trigger on it because I'm sitting there, I'm like, am I really gonna get a fake band for my real watch?
Yeah. What do you think?
I
Oh,
I I didn't pull the trigger on it, so I mean obviously I wasn't completely, I'm not gonna lie. That there's a huge part of me that's like I'd much rather have a whatever else brand, like Straps Co. I know they're a big watch band brand. I'd rather have a Straps Co. $40 fucking band than a fake. Because let's say I did, I did go to sell that and I
yeah.
forgot about it. And here the person's looking at it, they're like, well, the watch looks okay, but this band looks, it just muddies the water. So, whereas if they're looking at it like, oh, this is an aftermarket band, yeah, oh, yeah, okay. There's not that issue of is it real or fake. It's an aftermarket band. It's not. And I already have a black silicone one picked out on Amazon. It has the curved ends. It's made to fit the Hydro Conquest. $20. I'll grab it next paycheck. God, I am so congested all of a sudden. Take another hit here. Ooh, probably take another hit and have a smoke, and then think it might be about that time. What watch are you looking at now?
So looking at the Aris, and then I asked AI to kind of project its future value. I figured it would be between 1,000 and 1,250. So I mean, I'm like, so it's more of like, hey, you're gonna enjoy this watch, wear it out. Then I'm looking at the movement, the 733, and then I'm like, yeah, that was that whole issue. I fucking,
What?
anyways. What's a 733 movement versus their 433 movement, which I really want to own and like wear and things like that. I don't know. They just talked it up so goddamn much. I'm like, I really think this is a cool watch. So,
I
or
mean,
it's
don't
not.
get me wrong. The Caliber 400 move is a great movement. It's a 5-day reserve. I mean, you're getting a hell of a lot of engineering for the money. But that being said,
Doesn't
the
matter.
733 ain't nothing to shit on either, bro. That is a like more fine tuned SW200 movement. That is still a go to. There are two main. If you're talking about an automatic movement, Swiss made, 4 hertz with the date function, there are two main movements that are used in the Swiss watchmaking industry, unless you're talking about in house movements. That is the SW200 by Salida and the ETA 2824 by ETA.
Okay.
Okay. Those are your two main go tos where, I mean, people have been
Yeah.
using those for
Wow, you're like
a number of years. The S, okay. Oris
okay.
takes that movement and tweaks it to where they tighten the standards on it even a little bit more. You know, like here, let me even ask Google here, or here I'll do it on my phone so we can hear it. What are the main differences between the Salida SW200 movement and the Oris Caliber 733 movement?
The Oris Caliber 733 is a high-grade, modified version of the Salida SW200. They share features like jewels, frequency, and power reserve. However, the main differences lie in branding, cosmetic upgrades, and Oris's tighter regulation of the Oris Caliber 733.
So they're tighter regulations. Let's see here.
this is bidding at 28.8 on it.
Oris typically uses the higher. Yeah, they both are at the as far as that. But here, hold on. Let's see what Caliber Corner has to say about this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What does it have to say about this?
Hold on, it's okay. Both are based on the SW200. Both have the same dimensions and jewel count. The main difference is the power reserve quoted by Oris, whereas the 733-1 has a 41-hour power reserve, where the SW200 has a 38-hour power reserve. So they tweaked it that little bit to get an extra 3 hours out of it.
Sounds excellent. I am very happy para ti. Para ti.
I mean, I definitely am still thinking about getting an Oris too, but as much as I've seen the price on that Tudor go up, the Oris prices haven't jumped that high. But that Tudor, and you know why that is. You know exactly why that is. Because who are they related to?
Rolex?
They are the shield that guards the crown.
See.
So, but I think I mean, not immediately, but the Orises are going to appreciate. I think I've noticed that outside of the big names that always appreciate Rolex and Patek, etc.
Okay.
You're starting to see a lot more of the heritage watch companies from Switzerland starting to get a lot more love now.
Who are some of these heritage companies? So Oris is one of them, you're saying?
Oris is
Well,
definitely one of them.
Tudor, of
Oris,
course.
Tudor. Well, no, Tudor's rather newer.
Okay.
Longines, Tissot,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple brands have been resurrected: Nevada Grenchen, Universal Genève.
Yeah.
So there, and it's interesting because it's almost like a neo vintage type thing. They're bringing back a lot of the older styles, but with newer innovations, etc. And it just kind of coincides with the vintage market being so strong right now. People are really going for the older timepieces because they're realizing, hey, if this fucking thing was made in the 80s and it's still going, must be a fucking quality piece.
Right?
So, and it is, especially in the case of, any of your older, Rolex, Breitling, um, their older models are the most sought after ones right now. Fuck, I'd love to own a classic Breitling from like the early 2000s. They're still the best looking ones, in my opinion. I mean, they just got a certain, you know, for lack of a better term, they just have a certain gravitas about them. They really got that '90s flavor, and I don't know. I think we were very lucky the age that we grew up in.
90s? Fuck yeah. You kidding me?
I mean, just so much good shit.
Yeah.
But so, what are your end of the night thoughts here?
You know, nothing specific, just that I believe this whole thing with cannabis legalization is a farce. It's not really legalization, it's a joke. But anyways, other than that, doing hunky dory here today. How about you? Got
You
less
gonna pull the
requests.
trigger on that Oris?
Well, I don't know. We're gonna see. We are gonna see.
I'll tell you one watch that I saw on Joma Shop's used thing, if they still have it, that
Yeah.
I was definitely considering, in outside of an Oris. They had a used Raymond Weil Freelancer blue dial dive watch for like $1,000.
Yeah.
That's another brand a lot of people kind of sleep on, but they make some really nice stuff. Is Raymond Weil.
Raymond Weil. I should look that up.
Go to Joma's shop under
Okay.
pre-owned watches.
Yeah.
Just select automatic movement and then go price low to high, and it should pop up. If they still have it.
No, they don't still have it. I don't see it. No.
Hold on.
See. I'll be 1 second. Gonna grab me a snack.
So how you people doing out there, huh? It's getting a little late. A little stoned. Excuse me. Yeah, watches can be very addictive. I will warn you guys. You start off looking at, $200-300 watches, and next thing you know, you're figuring out how much you can afford monthly.
That's right. See?
So they do still
Oh,
have it. I don't
what?
know.
Oh,
Go to Joma's shop.
okay. Okay.
Go to pre-owned watches.
Men. Where's the pre? Oh, yeah, pre-owned.
Then select men's under gender. And then under movement, select automatic. Once you've done those two things, go up and do the sort thing, price low to high.
Is there a brand?
Don't worry about the brand yet. Just do exactly
Okay.
how I'm telling you. Men's automatic movement, and then do the price low to high. Let
Yeah.
me know when you've done that.
Okay.
So you should be looking at the first row should be a Tourneau, a Hamilton, a Tourneau, and a Longines, right?
Yeah.
Second row should be a Maurice Lacroix, a Longines, and then the Raymond Weil.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Ah. Very nice.
Raymond Weil Freelancer Blue Dial. That's not a bad watch for $1,000.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. All these different colors and stuff like that on the watch faces. Yeah, I'll share a screen with you. Here you go.
Oh yeah. The one with the black bezel and the blue dial is really stunning. Like, go back a couple. Go back. Okay. Third one on yep. That really got a look to it.
Very cool.
You definitely tend to like the more of the gold stuff. Then again, you might have to get yourself some more stainless steel jewelry coming up here.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Well, if you want to be coordinated. get yourself like a matching bracelet, for the right wrist. Get you a couple pinky rings. Get you a nice stainless steel necklace. 3 or 4, and then hey, you'll look like me. What you've always aspired to.
Fantastic.
Oh, what? You never aspired to look like me?
No, why?
Well, what's wrong with me?
Nothing.
Was it the way I talk? What's so funny about me?
Yeah. But what? Oh,
What are you eating, Badam?
ube Chex Mix.
Well, boy, I was not even remotely correct. Ube Chex Mix?
Sí.
Is that similar to like eBay Chex Mix or
Sí.
eBay Ube?
It's something I had picked up in Hawaii from this place called Matsumoto Shaved Ice.
Damn.
Yeah, they had all these snacks and stuff. And these were like really, really good.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a smoke here, and then I think unfortunately it'll be about that time to hit the proverbial hay.
Holy crap, I got so baked right there. I just need to fucking eat something and wake myself up a little bit. Holy shit. Comatose. That's what I needed.
I've definitely been there before.
Yeah. I just needed some yogurt, some ube Chex Mix, and 2 coffee balls. Chocolate coffee balls.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That hash burger is kicking in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It never ceases to amaze me just how varied all the different strains and everything. You know, you smoke one and like, oh wow, man, I'm feeling great. I'm gonna rearrange my furniture in my living room and
Oh,
paint
God.
the bathroom. And then
Yeah.
there's other ones like this hash burger.
Yeah.
You take 2 bong hits and you're like,
Really? Ha.
well, you just, your brain's buffering. It's just that fucking constant blue spinning circle. Like, wow.
All right. So I think it's about time that We throw in the towel. All night. All right. Any final
Well,
words?
that was a transition.
Yeah, the cinematic. All right. Any last
What is
words?
that, like the Superman is here now.
Yeah, here we play some lounge music then. Oh, and Primo's gonna finish off the show. Just this way.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. We say goodbye. We're fucking up the door. Ready to make it.
All right, guys. Well, I guess on that note, peace out.